but this is probably going to end up being 2 videos on its own, huh? Yeah, I'd be surprised if it isn't by this point, considering how much music I've managed to listen to while building this city. But hey, you know, it takes a while to get a SimCity 4 city up and running. Just look at Al Jackie creating a 100-part series, even when he says it's not fun anymore. Hell, I've created well over 100 videos myself of SimCity 4 content, so there you go. Yeah, what would the total number be? I'm approaching 200 pretty soon, I think, actually. That'll be a cool landmark. I wonder if I'll catch it and be able to do anything special. Okay, so I've got pretty much almost all of the residential zones I wanted to get in place. Now, I kind of also wanted to zone up these lower density areas in this video too, so you know what, I'm going to stop thinking and I'm just going to do it, even if it's going to take a while. So I want this to look a bit random. Alright. So that should pretty much set us up for that. Let's just make the sidewalks consistent on this road and move on to this other area. Now I'm not going to worry about stuff like parks or anything around here. That's because these are, you know, they're the exurbs. They're for poor people who work in agricultural areas but don't want to live in some dirty, rundown neighborhood. Or heck, maybe not even poor people necessarily. I could easily imagine some nice, you know, second homes and vacation homes and such around this area. Let's get some more uniform looking zones right there. Yeah, that looks okay, I think. Insufficient funds. I guess that makes sense considering the amount of agricultural zoning I did. So let's see if I can. Here. How do I use? Oh, you know what? I've got my keyboard turned to the wrong IME. This should do the trick. You know what? I'm gonna quickly pause the recording and look up that cheat. Okay, so I couldn't figure out how to get the moolah cheat to work for some reason. I know that the rest of my extra cheats are working, but who the hell knows? For some reason, that one cheat always gives me these weird problems that none of the others do. So I just used weakness pays 100 times. So, you know, those houses are kind of dense over on that side. I'm almost done zoning this area. Alright, so maybe just a couple more zones and I'll pronounce this whole neighborhood done. Maybe some sidewalks over here as well. Yeah, I think that should be plenty. Maybe one tiny house right there. Now, should I zone this area while recording? Why the heck not? Now this I want to be a little bit lower density than that other one. This is going to be like beach vacation houses over here. Maybe some bed and breakfasts, maybe some locals too, I mean, who knows. So, Alright. A little bit of density just in that tiny spot there. But that's not how most of it's going to be. Whoops. That doesn't look so good. Let's get it right. Alright. So, this might take a minute to do all of this, but not really. It'll be over before I know it. It's kind of hard to, it's a lot harder to do this than to do traditional zoning, I would say. Just because you've always got to kind of constantly be on your feet and be creative. A lot of the time, zoning, it's like, can be one of the least creative tasks involved in getting a neighborhood up and running. Where the real creativity comes out is when you're building the street network. But, I really don't know. Could be just a sign that my brain has decayed over time. Put some houses a little bit close together around that turnaround there. I don't think that'll look too bad. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. It's got a little pattern right there. I think that works. Okay, perfect. Maybe something like this. Oh no! That is so ugly. Ugh. I hate it when that happens. It gets all screwy next to the RHW too. Yeah, I think this whole street isn't supposed to be there. Ignore that. Now let me take another look. Yep, this whole area I'm going to just redo. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I guess. Okay. Alright, so I would say I'm more than 50% done with this huge area, which is quite the thing. So the remaining areas, I think I'm going to go for even lower density than I had already. Just to speed things up a little bit. try to complete the sidewalks naturally when I can, I suppose, but it's not that big a priority. Whoops. I'll just keep that. Yeah, that'll work. Whoops. One right on the intersection right there. Whoops. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll be plenty for there, I think. Alright, so... wow, this beach area looks pretty cool already, if I say so myself. And... that looks okay, I think. Oof. Any of you who are watching this, do any of you live near a coastal area with a lot of beach resorts and such? I've kind of been, recently I've been looking at a lot of them in Google Maps and elsewhere, and it's interesting just how much variety there is in coastal areas as compared to inland areas. I mean, a lot of the stuff is the same from one town to the next, you know, depending on its geographical features, I guess. And that's a big part of what determines what city planners design and what people choose to build. But I guess there's just more diversity of biomes and terrain types around the coast. So you see a few patterns that are, I guess, less common elsewhere. I think the most common thing with beach houses is to see them packed super tight just because of the commercialization of shore areas and, well, you know, the more people who can be renting a house at a time, the more money local businesses are going to make. I mean, nobody's going to oppose dense development in those areas generally. But then in other places, coastal areas are just so isolated by various geographical features and, you know, that they frequently have lower density than other cities nearby. But, well, I'm kind of stumbling over my words right now. Suffice it to say that all this is kind of sort of inspired by real life. Okay, so now we're in a pretty solid spot. I could really let the simulation run from here and just see where it'll take me. So, you know what? That's what I'm going to do, and it's going to lag a lot as I start to run the simulation, so I'm going to yeah, I'm going to just meet you back when I'm done. Alright, well, I haven't let the simulation even run a minute, but I realized, you know, I'm kind of, as I was tripping over my own words back there, I forgot a pretty important component that I have to do before that, which is to put some of these trees in place. And while I'm at it, for things I forgot, I think I want to take care of bus stops first. So okay, this should be a pretty easy job, I think. I probably want one at the edge of town over there, probably one here as well. Around here it would be nice to have one, but I don't Well, I can kind of make it fit like that. Something kind of around the center of this area over here. That's easy to arrange. And then, how about another bus stop, say right there. Now what about the west part of this side of town? I could use a bus stop. No, there's one across the street pretty close, so never mind that. One here would probably look okay though. And then further south in the center of that part of town. Excuse me. And maybe one up here as well. Yeah, I don't think I need to do too much more beyond this. Let me just make sure all my roads are connected. Yep. Looks solid. Alright, yeah, I probably also want maybe just a single bus stop around this area. That actually kind of screws things up as far as the sidewalks, so I'm going to change it. For some reason the bus stop doesn't add sidewalks. Well, I'm not going to complain because I like it ending there anyway. So I'll just put another one right over there. Now down here, definitely need a bus stop right there. And you know what, while we're doing this, I'm going to improve the sidewalks there. And this area, probably also use one around that area, around there. And a third one there. And 3 is probably plenty. Now for here. I think I definitely want a couple bus stops around the entrances to this neighborhood, because they're doubtless going to be pretty busy areas. One right next to the center over here, and maybe one further out here, kind of on the same main road. Yeah, I think that'll work. No, I really do want another bus stop or two around here. I'm just not really thinking of the optimal placement. Heck, I've missed a few zones around here anyway, so I'll just put one there and fill in those zones. And down here as well. Yeah, that looks like plenty. Okay, now I can focus on the trees for real this time. Or wait, no, not quite yet. I was avoiding putting bus stops on this main avenue only because I was hoping to be able to use some road top stops around there. So let's see, where would those make the most sense? Well, I probably want one at the entrance to town over here. Then I guess I'll have 2 bus stops kind of in the middle. Yeah, that'll probably work swimmingly. So let's go to just scroll down to where they are. And I'll take one right there. And another one up over, say, here. Or actually, nah, here's better. So let's see if I can get a 3-wide commercial lot to grow there. And I'm going to demolish these so that when the pop-up appears for the post office, I have a spot to place it without having to go through my menu again. So okay, I'm going to try to trace some of these ploppable lots and parking lots and such with my tree brush to avoid throwing too many trees on them, and I've already kind of screwed that one up. The town's one service station and convenience store. And you know what? I don't think I'm even going to use that one. I'm just going to find another service station that's around here. There's got to be one somewhere, right? I thought they were here. Maybe not. Must be further up. Yeah, Texaco. Ooh, this one is smaller though. So, you know what? I'm going to place this one up over here by that intersection. And I'm going to find the other one over back toward the top of the menu. And I'll be placing that where it was. Hopefully I can be a little bit more smart about avoiding placing trees on top of my other lots, or else this will take forever and it might turn out to be 3 videos of getting this town up and running. It was around here somewhere, wasn't it? Ah, there it was. Shame there's no 76 station lots out there. That's my favorite service station in real life, one I usually prefer using at least. I couldn't really tell you why, to be honest, but I guess because it's kind of a mark of the West Coast to have that, or you know, at least that's where most of their locations are, over on the West Coast. So I'm just gonna try. Ah, come on! I already screwed up this rough way, so I'm just gonna trace it a little bit more roughly since I'm gonna have to scroll back down to it anyway. I'll be very careful over here. And is that about it for the tracing I have to do? I think so. So I'm just gonna, well, first of all, I'm gonna try to get a couple more trees to grow right there, and yeah, that sets it. So I'm gonna, rough way at least, I know exactly where it is in the menu because I've used it so many times. So I'll be able to get over to it quite expeditiously, I believe. Right there. Very nice, very nice. Alright, I can use a little bit of a larger tool to create a bit more of a buffer. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, over here I was kind of sloppy. Forgot to outline that one, but looks like I didn't screw it up, so nothing lost. Alright. Oof, over here too, I forgot to outline those. Man, I really am being careless today, huh? Got some nice coastal pines in this area, I like that. Bit too many of these deciduous trees, but nothing I can do to prevent them from popping up without switching my tree controller or really mutilating this terrain. Okay, so wow, our buffer zone is looking nice now. Let's get some trees in that one tile spot. And over here, some more there, and down here. Okay. So now I feel more or less safe zooming out and using a bit of a bigger brush. And then eventually, I don't know, I might as well fill in the entire map at this zoom level, you know. It lags a little bit less, so there is that going for it. Yeah, heck, I'll just do it this way. It's more efficient. Jeez. I may have too many deciduous trees, but I don't know. I still like this tree controller. I think it's a pretty good one. Now over there I'm going to remove some from the beach by hand just to have a bit of a better looking waterfront. How often do you see like tons of huge, super dense trees growing out of sand right next to salt water, right? At least it's pretty easy. Alright, gives us a nice little recreational area for people to enjoy. You can kind of just park anywhere in this district and sort of take the walk down to the beach. Actually, really while I'm here I might as well improve things just a little bit and put a parking lot that people can use in order to drive to the beach as well, from the main part of town, that is. Because there is the auto-oriented motel there, right? So presumably there'd be at least a few people who'd be staying in the main part of town and wanting to enjoy the beach. Besides local residents too, of course, who would also use this parking lot. So I'm going to go find that one I liked earlier, and yep, right there. Beautiful. I like how that looks. Maybe you have a nice 50-foot wide pass through the trees so that people can actually see the parking lot from the beach too. Yeah, and I think we're pretty well set, honestly. I'm actually going to run the simulator now, and I'll see you when things are starting to grow in. Alright, so it took a full 7 years of running the simulation, and a hell of a lot of lag, and one really annoying crash, but I finally have all the development in the way I like it. And there are a couple things that I forgot before I let the simulation run. One was for roads to provide access to these farms over here and also these 3 farms. So I just built a couple new dirt roads fronting on this main road 2 right here. I also forgot to provide power or waste treatment or water. So as you can see, I provided all those things and my water is right there. The other 2 are over at this spot, if you didn't notice a moment ago. And I built a new bus stop right there. And that's the extent of what I did, other than just sit and watch the lag and development come on in and click through pop-ups. Without further ado, I think a cool way to look at this would be to take a look at the major highway here and just kind of go south along it. As you can see, the farms are nice and built up close to each other. And then entering town, looks like the commercial area did pretty well for itself. Here, I'd never noticed the pop-up that comes with the JB Simeo post office becoming available, but it's quite possible that it's available here nonetheless. Not quite yet. It looks like I am going to have to run the simulator a little bit more for my city to age enough. I guess the city has to be 10 years old for that to appear. Well, I won't place it down till then, but that's going in that little square when it does appear or become available. And there's also a landmark version I could place now, but I'd rather place the gift version so that it disappears from the gift menu. Yeah, so anyway, I think that this place is looking pretty damn cool. yeah, I guess I would describe this as mostly a, excuse me, mostly a roadside services and commercial and beach resort types town. Some kind of combination of all of those. Now I'm typing the cheat to make unbuilt zones disappear, but it's for some reason not all of my cheats are working correctly, so I'll just dezone that right there. Because I do want to take a screenshot before I quit the game. Yeah, so to get to the beach you have to follow this road here, and it kind of branches off there. So what I was thinking I might do is actually make a little upgrade right here, just so it's a little bit more clear to the tourists how to get from the center of the town to the beach. So I'm going to continue this yellow line road just a little bit further until it reaches the parking lot on the beach. So it should be fairly straightforward to do this. I just want to continue this road up until here, and then it's going to turn south at this intersection and west at this intersection. Should be easy to follow because the road markings will lead you right there. And then right down to the parking lot. Very simple and easy to follow this way. In fact, you know what, just to make things that little bit easier, I might as well place a little bit of signage, just so that the tourists are 100% clear on where they're supposed to be going and aren't driving aimlessly around through in front of people's homes in the exurbs. So I'm looking for some 90-degree turn signs. Yeah, right turn, that'll do it. I'll place one right there. I could probably stand to have one right... Oh, now my zonery achieve is working. Oh well. Bit late for that. Might have been some graphical render error I was running into a moment ago, which was the reason the zones were not disappearing. Who knows. Now let's find a 90-degree left turn, and it's right there. So we'll want one of those facing there, and one of them facing there. And that should be plenty of signage so that nobody's getting confused. Yeah, wow, I'll be, you know what, I could probably stand to make this intersection look a little bit prettier. Maybe, no, that doesn't look any good. And yeah, it's not going to look any better than it would like this. Let's see, is there any kind of way I could get this to work the way I want it? Not really. That's good enough, I suppose. So that's how I'll leave it. Wow. Man, I really like how this town turned out. And I suppose the next video I'm working on, I don't know if I'll be working on this city again, but the next time I do bring the city back to YouTube, I will be definitely filling in these large forested areas to the west of the main part of town with some suburban style development. Probably also do something in this area. Maybe increase the, maybe put some new industrial lots around the main roads here. And of course a long-term project is to make this highway here limited access, grade separated divided highway throughout its length with interchanges everywhere. But that is quite the stretch goal, you know. That's at least, you know, if I had to guess, like somewhere between 10 and 25 city tiles away. That is, I want to complete that many more city tiles before I get started on that project. So yeah, this highway is going to be in this condition for quite a while before it changes. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this mini-series, I suppose you could call it, with building King's Cross from scratch. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I know I just said goodbye, but I had to show you the region view, right? So here it is. This is King's Cross at the very bottom here, and unfortunately you can't see a large part of the city tile, including most of the city center, or much of the city center at least, because well, my region is just so large that you can't scroll to the very bottom of it on the in-game regional view. But it should all be visible through the region census program, so you know it's going to be visible where it counts. And I just wanted to say, you know, I did the math, and with the completion of this city tile, that makes literally a 275 square mile area from here to here, a 275 square mile rectangle that is, of tiles that have been, well, at least mostly or nearly developed. These two still have a long way to go. This one is pretty much finished, but I still need to run the simulator for quite a while. Or is it finished even? Nah, this one has a long way to go too, never mind. So 275 square miles, bar 3 city tiles that are basically in almost complete form. And yeah, that is quite the marker of progress with this region. The region is a total of 1,500 square miles or something like that. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, wow. Anyway, see you next time.